Okay, today we're talking about the chamber seal on the 880 and the Daisy 35 to make sure there's no confusion and things you need to know I have not talked about on the channel. Now, first of all, everybody thinks it's about the O-rings. It's not about the O-rings by themselves. You have to have a chamber seal. So let's take a look at this. So this is what it looks like inside your gun. Okay, let me turn it at an angle. There you go. And so there we go. So what you have there is it seals the edges. And so when you pump your gun, what you have is air come by the edges here and get into your power chamber, so you have a multi-pump. Okay, people need to understand what is the function of the O-rings. So as you're pumping your gun, the air does not escape out of either side of the tube from your pump head or from the back, and then it's up to that chamber seal to capture the air. So the air comes over the top, goes inside here and into a chamber there. All right. So one of the things I want to talk about is the things that can go wrong on new guns and old guns. I've talked about old guns, but I want to share a story that's definitely true because it happened to me. My very first video was a 77XS, and I changed the O-ring in the pump head, but that's just one fix. That doesn't work for everybody, and it turned out I still could not get that gun right. I tell you the truth, it still wasn't working well. And I paid a lot more for that gun than your standard 880. So then I took it apart and I saw this O-ring was bummed too. And when I took the chamber seal off, so I can go ahead and show you that. This is called a abutment kit back here. This is something the Daisy 35, 901, and the 880 have that the single pumps don't have. Okay, so, and we'll go over the kit back here. Okay, so what happened is I took apart my 77XS to see what was going on with this. And so here's what we got. When I got it apart after changing both O-rings, and then I took a close look at this, I was pretty stunned really what I was seeing. Okay, so let's take a real good close-up of that. And what was inside of here from the factory was a bunch of red grime, and I couldn't believe how much was in there. So it wasn't a good day at the factory, and there's two ways that this piece gets affected so that air can't easily flow over the top, and this can't be a check valve, meaning it can't do its job. You either over oil, okay, here it's come back out, hold on. Okay, you either over oil, and it gets a buildup right here that needs to be wiped off. Okay, you need to wipe it off like that. Or in my case, in my 77, I found this grime from the factory caked in here. So then the valve also can't do its job right. So either a buildup up here, or in my case, I had obstruction in here that I cleaned out with a Q-tip. And then after that, everything's great. Okay, so now let's come back out and let's go over this kit. So you got the front, that front plate, okay, and the air goes around it, and that holds that chamber seal. Remember, when you put it back together, the hollow side faces back, okay, and then you have your spring that puts tension on that retaining pin, because it does a couple different things depending who you talk to. But yes, it is yeah, so once I did that, I was able to get my 77 working right. So I placed both O-rings, and then once I spotted what was wrong on the inside of that, okay, so there is oil buildup on the front, or on the edges right here from too much oil, like if you buy it used. I haven't seen that really in a new gun. If you have an older gun, it can cause a buildup. You want to get it clean, you could use a Q-tip or a rag. And then what I had was the buildup from the factory on the inside, and I want to make clear that was a new gun, brand new. So those are the things you want to watch out for, on top of the fact how that works. Remember, so it's in there and forces the air. Okay, there we go. It forces the air when you pump your gun to go around, and then those edges check the air on the edge of your tube so that the air can't come flying back up. And that's how you have a multi-pump. All right. And then remember the seal kit. If you need the information, I'll go ahead and give it. I have that all over the channel. But the seal kit from Daisy is just $1 as I speak. And it's got your O-rings, your chamber seal, and your wiper. And if you get a used gun, the wiper is important because you want to clean out your gun completely, all contact surfaces, and put in that wiper. So when I tell people about the seal kit, when you get it from Daisy, and it is a good deal because it's just $1, I would just get 3, and you're all in with shipping about $5 or $6. That'll last you a long time. Multiple guns. You buy more if you want to get four seal kits, but they're OEM, and you know that's going to work. For fixes from the store, which I've covered multiple times, these are nitrile rings, so SAE 113 and then one SAE 012 for your valve. But those are nitrile rings, chamber seal. Oh, this one actually has 2 chamber seals in it. So, okay, and they could maybe do that. They'd be nice instead of 2 chamber seals. But no, but so it looks like that. 1 chamber seal, riper, and 3 O-rings. So, okay, well, I don't feel that need to talk about anything more. I don't feel I need to talk about anything more than that. I think that's everything you need to know. And remember, so it's just not about used guns. Yes, when you get a used gun, you want to take it apart, take that out, and clean out your pump tube. So you pull that off, get in there with a towel, take it all the way through the outside and the other side, and go ahead and scrub that out. Okay, so that's nice and clean like that one. And then take off your chamber seal and get the edges and do a visual inspection to make sure that there's nothing caked on the inside like what I discovered. And I want to make it clear, it's not always going to be like that, but it was in my case. It was caked in there with something from the factory. So anyway, that's everything you need to know. And remember, there can be problems with new guns. So what it turned out with my 77 is that both O-rings were not good and had to be replaced, and then the chamber seal itself needed to be salvaged. So anyway, thank you, and hopefully that teaches you more about the chamber seal and what you need to know.